Alright everyone, we're back with Moth Clan. We're trying the new microphone today for the first time, so let me know how it sounds. I did a couple sound checks first, and I think the background audio should be at just the right level, but let me know if anything needs to be changed. So we're just going to jump right in with Moth Clan. There isn't much news from Ant Clan this time around, other than that they are grateful at the return of, who was it? Whoops. My mouse is bits of the fritz lately. Who was it? Dawnleap. So they're grateful for the return of Dawnleap here. Violet Mask lost their tail to a rogue. Well, what were you doing fighting a rogue? Heavy Oak mourns the loss of Honeystar, who you never met Honeystar, and Hatch Skink finally earned their warrior name along with the rest of their siblings after so long of being away from the clan. So let's check in with everybody here. I think this is actually Hatch Skink over here. And let's see, Tiny Birch and Pike Splash are over here. Looks like, who's this? Ashpaw still sleeping in the corner. A lot of activity in the leader's den. Heavy Oak speaking with Jumpstar here. Maybe they were discussing Honeystar and that's why that came up. Barkpaw is also here along with Shrooby and who is this? Is that Ravenheart with the green eyes? I believe it is. So I'm just going to skim through how the clan is doing and be back with you in a moment. Jumpstar is assessing some apprentices, which I assume actually just means giving... Well, I suppose Barkpaw was in the leader's den just now, so I don't think Barkpaw is super close to becoming a warrior, though. Maybe they're getting an early assessment. Could be. Once again, Feathercloud wants to be deputy. Everybody is just waiting for Jumpstar to die. Feathercloud, you are too old to become deputy at this point. Heavy Oak as well is dreaming about being leader. Are you looking for some nepotism, Heavy Oak, because your mate might very well become leader soon? Prickletail is curious about other clans. Okay. Mossmask is gathering deathberries now. What is up with all our medicine cats gathering deathberries lately? Come on, guys. There's Hatch Skink, who their first action as a warrior is regretting not eating the bird. And that was Ravenheart, who heard a rumor about crow eyes. That's interesting. Barkpaw wants to spend time alone today. Maybe they failed Jumpstar's assessment because they're just too young and inexperienced still. Rowanpaw also curious about other clans. That's interesting. Rowanpaw and Prickletail were both curious about other clans. I'm gonna make a mental note of that. Brackenkit tried to sneak out of camp. Brackenkit, Chaos Brackenkit. I haven't renamed either of them. I think I'm just gonna let them be confusing, to be honest. We'll see how confusing it gets. So we have Gray Brackenkit and we have Brown Brackenkit. Bracken Brown and Bracken Gray is what they will be called while they are young. Alright, so now let's check in with Star Clan. Lilyheart is proud of Heavy Oak, who's dreaming about being either deputy or leader, which is not suspicious at all. Dark Forest Cat. Speaking of, someone reminded me that, one Haze was a Dark Forest Cat, so I'm probably going to move them over here soon. Ivy Talon's watching over Barkpaw, who just failed an assessment. Sparkswipe, also curious about other clans. See, the cats just know. The cats just know. Lightning Whisker still worrying about Two Legs, which is fair because we still have a couple cats that have been kidnapped and haven't been returned. One Step is missing a loved one, probably Ravenheart, who's still alive. Speaking of Ravenheart, Judefur is disappointed in him. Why? And continuing the disappointment, Sparrowthroat is disappointed in Mossmask, and earlier, Featherstar didn't want to talk to Sparrowthroat. What is going on over here? And Townystone is cured. Oh, Townystone's not dead. Townystone's not dead, they're just kidnapped. But they are curious about Sparrowthroat, which means that they're captured in thinking about Sparrowthroat of all cats, which is interesting. What is going on there? I need to create a web of interactions going on right now. It's very interesting. Flytrap wants to learn Tiny Birch. Tiny Birch just recently went on that mission to rescue the kidnapped cats. What do you want to warn Tiny Birch about? Alright, let's send some cats out on patrol. So we have Weaselpaw and Tiny Birch. We have Rowanpaw. Do we see Sparkcloud? No. So then we'll send Storkstorm, so we'll send our wannabe deputy. Everyone has made it very clear who they want the next deputy to be after their heroic actions during the fire. And then we'll send the actual deputy out with them. But the patrol immediately starts questioning Chaos Rift's ability as the clan's deputy. Tiny Birch, I can only assume it's you, because, I don't know, Storkstorm wouldn't do that, right? But Chaos Rift performs well and quells any doubt. Next we're going to send Rowanpaw, their mentor Sparkcloud, Emberheart, and then their previous apprentice, Hatchskink, who I just realized is still on the spreadsheet here. A couple of you asked me what program I use to keep track of the cats over here, and I have to admit to you all, it's literally just Google Docs. This is the presentation presenter thing. So each of these is just a different frame of the thing, and I've set a background image to like half opacity, or with a white layer of 50% opacity over top of it. That's literally all it is. It's nothing fancy, I swear. So, let's send these four out. They find a kitty pet interested in clan cats. I am going to say yes. They convince them to join. So who is our new cat? Can I spot them out of the crowd here? You don't look familiar. Brightpaw! Oh, your name can't be Brightpaw, please, no. Oh, okay. Well, we have a Brightpaw, and I am immediately expecting horrible, horrible things to happen. They're bold, that's a good trait for a kitty pet joining the clan. So next we're going to send Barkpaw with Marsheyes, and then Ashpaw with Prickletail. Marsheyes claims to have a vision from StarClan last night. Ooh, that's interesting. They talk them through the vision as they hunt. Let's pull up the generator. Let's pull that up. And look, there it is. That's the healer patrol, actually. That's actually a very interesting generation it came up with on the first shot. I was gonna do it a couple times and see if I could find something that kind of fit the narrative I was pushing towards, but honestly, that is very interesting. That is very interesting. So I'm gonna let that be. The kitty pet will come and read... The kitty pet will come and rid my leader of the star. That's very interesting and strangely coherent for the generator that normally spits out nonsense like... Well, I mean, that's not... Eagles will become fangs, light and hawks will stay in gold. Yeah, that's the kind of nonsense I've grown to expect from this generator. The ravens, hawks, shadows, and darkness will rest and shake the fire. Wolves will become moons, power and servals will rest in wolves. The 2 legs 3 jaguars in power might go and frighten the crows. I love this stupid generator because half the time it makes no sense, and honestly that's pretty on point for warrior cats actually. But since we're doing generators, let's see what the healers are up to. Smokethroat and Mossmask quizzed each other about the use of chickweed. Okay, good job. Oh yeah, Brightpaw, who's your mentor actually? I should take note of that. Weedspeck, who's already had an apprentice. I'm gonna change that to somebody else, I think. Okay, I made Feathercloud. Brightpaw's mentor. So we'll send those two out together, and then I think we're out of apprentices, at least the ones that haven't been kidnapped. So I should be able to send just some random cats out. So we'll send Pike Splash because your apprentice is kidnapped, and we'll send Heavy Oak because you don't have an apprentice. They catch a mouse. And then, yeah, let's just send some random 4 cats out. So we've got Jumpstar, Ravenheart, Shrewby, and Pantherstep. They find a loner interested in joining the clan again, and for plot's sake, I'm going to accept them into the clan. I'm going to say that after the fire there were a lot of cats misplaced from their homes. Maybe some of them escaped from their 2 legs, maybe some of them escaped from the facility. And there are a lot of cats looking for homes right now. So I'm just going to take every kitty pet and loner we see. So who's our new friend? Nectar. Oh, you're cool. 20 moons old, yeah. Thoughtful. You're cool. You're cool. And plus the whole prophecy, kitty pet will come and rid my leader of the star. That's, you know, interesting. So it looks like we're sending Nectar, Weedspeck, Violet Mask, and Meadowdapple out on patrol. And they catch a hare. And we'll send these 2 out together. Shadowhawk and Slowthorn. They drive a fox away together. Alright, let's continue on. Pantherstep has officially retired to the Elder Den, so I think that they did get spayed, or neutered. So, no kittens for Pantherstep. Sad, sad day. There are so many cats here, my word. I think I'm going to stop looking at this just because, I mean, looks like our new addition is talking to the leader, and Tiny Birch is hanging out with Black Bracken in the nursery. But for the most part, I'm just going to ignore it because there's so much going on, it's just impossible to keep track of. So, let's go through our clan. Pantherstep is developing a crush on Waspstripe. You have a mate, and you don't necessarily strike me as the polyamorous type. And what do Waspstripe and Feathercloud think of this? Waspstripe thinks they're going crazy, and you have a mate too. Mate. Scorchpatch is relaxing, and Feathercloud is acting suspicious. Oh, maybe Pantherstep thinks that Feathercloud is cheating on them, so they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go develop a crush on a cat who already has a mate. That's fascinating. Jumpstar is hoping for a sign from StarClan. Interesting, interesting. Violet Mask is thinking about kits. We should pick a new mate for Violet Mask. We really should. Who's in your age range? Everyone even remotely in Violet Mask's age range is already mates with somebody else. Probably not gonna happen, but if Violet Mask had kits, then I could at least put Honey Ear and the rest of that family on the family tree by nature of being Violet Mask's ex. Which means that I really want to find them a mate. But I just can't do it without breaking someone up. And really everyone has a mate. Either way, we should find a loner soon who's in Violet Mask's age group, because none of these cats are gonna cut it. Sparkcloud curious about the other clans too. Was that them yesterday? I made a mental note and then it disappeared. I'm gonna have to write it down afterwards. I'll note that too. Prickletail wants to be deputy. Everybody's thinking about who's gonna be deputy, my word. Marsheyes curious about the other clans. They were curious about them yesterday. I remember that. I remember very specifically that, for reasons. Marsheyes is thinking a lot about other clans. Mossmask is dreaming about Frecklestone, who gives them a message. Yet another Star Clan message? Okay. Okay, I flipped through a couple until I got one that made some amount of sense. So, hold a raven you cannot trust. Hold a raven you cannot trust. Well, we have Ravenheart. Hold a raven you cannot trust. Can we trust Ravenheart? They've been trustworthy thus far. Is there any reason we can't trust them? Yeah, Ravenheart's just feeling excited. Like, I suppose they're, by technicality, half clan, and that they're not from this clan. Technically, they're not clan at all. Ravenheart, what are you up to? Okay, so let's send some kitties out on patrol. We have Weaselpaw and Tiny Birch. We have Ashpaw, but I don't see Prickletail, so we'll send Chaos Rift and Pike Splash instead. They catch a rat. We have Barkpaw and Marsheyes. We have Brightpaw and Feathercloud. Ooh, they meet another clan. Okay. Okay, we encounter an ant clan patrol led by Birchfur. They're accompanied by Briar Goose and Ant Gorse. They're practicing hunting but don't immediately see your patrol. So do we have a troublesome cat? No. Do we have an excellent teacher? No. We don't even have a good teacher. And we don't have an insecure cat either, so nothing happens. The patrol leaves them be while they practice. So we've got Ashpaw, and I see Prickletail now. Looks like they finally woke up. And we have Rowanpaw, and there's Sparkcloud, so we'll send those 4 out. They don't find anything useful. And I believe we are now officially out of apprentices, so it looks like we're sending out Hatch Skink, Ravenheart, our new friend Nectar, and Heavy Oak. I'm gonna say that maybe Hatch Skink starts by telling them about their experiences, and Nectar's over here making spooky noises. They still managed to have a successful patrol, but despite that going on. So we're gonna send Violet Mask, Stork, Meadow Dapple, and Slowthorn. The leaves are starting to turn colors, and Leaf Bear will be here soon. But for now, the hunting is still good. And we'll send the last 5 out on patrol together. So we have Jumpstar, Emberheart, Shadowhawk, Shruby, and Weedspeck. Weedspeck finds the scent of an old friend of theirs from when they were a loner. Okay. They invite them to join. Who's our new friend? Badgerpoppy. Hang on. 62 moons? 62 moons? That's not too much of a gap since they're both well into adults. Was Violet Mask on that patrol? I can't remember now all of a sudden. So you're lonesome, and you are loyal. Well, I'll ask you, because the day is over. This might be a slightly shorter episode, so I'm gonna ask you now, do you think Violet Mask and Badgerpoppy should become mates? I'm pretty sure that you all will say the answer is yes, but I figured I'd ask anyway. So now, we're gonna do a gathering. I'm gonna start doing more gatherings. I think I'm gonna do them at the beginning from now on, but I kind of rushed this episode just a little bit. So, we're gonna do a gathering. Give me just a moment to set that up, and we will be back. Okay, I for the life of me cannot get the consumable lists to work. Because Lizard Whisker is listed 3 times, and Chaos Rift is listed twice. So I'm just gonna have to refresh this until it's a set of 6 completely different cats, I swear. Someone tell me how the consumable lists work, because A equals this consumable list. Is that not how it works? Someone tell me. Okay, so the gathering begins with a clear sky. Hatch Skink and One Brook are whispering at each other while looking at Ravenheart. Interesting. Heavy Oak and Buzzard Willow are arguing about current affairs. Okay. And Ravenheart and Lizard Whisker are whispering at each other while looking at Sparkcloud. Okay, so there's seven cats here, not including leaders and healers, and presumably Chaos Rift is here as well. So, Hatch Skink and One Brook are whispering and looking at Ravenheart, and Ravenheart and Lizard Whisker is the deputy of Ant Clan, are whispering and looking at Sparkcloud. So I don't know what's going on there. That's interesting. The gathering ends when it begins raining harshly. Okay, well, that's an interesting fresh gathering. I'm gonna have to tune up the generator for this. I'm trying my best. It doesn't always work. I don't know how this works. But thank you for tuning in. I have no idea how long this episode is. We will find out. I'll see you in the next one. Still bad at outros? Goodbye.